What's up, guys? Dave from betsum.com here. Going to go over a few of my NFL DFS lineups for Week 9 of the NFL. I'm not going to be picking players from the Thursday night game, the Atlanta Bucks game in this post. But aside from that, here are some of the players I will be playing early in the week here. Aaron Rodgers is 7,800. I feel like you almost got to play the guy at this point. I had him last week, and I'll have him next week. He's got no running game right now, and he's got the green light with a great matchup at home versus the Colts. So he'll be high owned, and he's expensive, but totally worth it this week. Tannehill at 5,600 is finally playing pretty well. Has a great matchup versus the Jets, who can't seem to stop anyone through the air, or especially deep. It's a week where there aren't that many quarterbacks that could score 30, I feel like, aside from that Thursday night game. And I think Tannehill might be a good low-owned gamble, especially with them off the bye. At running back, I like Le'Veon Bell. At running back, I'm going to try and differentiate my lineups by picking players I like that don't have great matchups. So aside from Bell's ridiculous talent, his receptions make him have that 20-point floor with a big upside. So I think he'll be lower owned than he deserves this week at Baltimore because of his OPRK. Matt Forte at 6,500. I had him the last 2 weeks, so I bought him at the right time. I'm going to keep riding him as long as the Jets do. I can't see why they wouldn't at the moment. And he's got a pretty good matchup versus a Miami team that's not that great and pretty inconsistent. And they have a 10th OPRK, so I should have people looking elsewhere, and he should be a little undervalued this week. Sproles at 3,900 might be a pretty popular play, as on prime time they showed that he will probably be the starting back and the number one guy there in Philly, as Ryan Matthews doesn't seem to be getting the touches, and Sproles was in all game. So he should hit that 12 plus fantasy points he needs to pay for himself with that price tag, and has a big upside as well. Henry at 5K is DeMarco Murray's backup. He's already had some pretty good production, and Murray may be hobbled or even out this Sunday, so keep your eye on that. He could be a big play if that's the case. Davante Adams at receiver for 4,900. The Packers were already thin and none at running back last week, and just yesterday they got rid of Niall Davis. Cobb and Montgomery are both questionable and didn't even play last week. Jordy doesn't seem to be 100%, still seems to be a little hobbled. Not quite back yet, although he's playing well. And Rodgers loves Adams, so I feel like at 5,900 you just can't miss. Kenny Stills at 3,900. The Jets are the worst in the league against the deep ball, and Miami has thrown it downfield to Stills more and more as weeks have gone by, at least once or twice a game. So I love Stills as a gamble. I wouldn't put him in a ton of lineups so he doesn't sink a bunch, but him and Parker for the same reasons. That Jets defense struggles against that deep throw. Miami off a bye too. Hopefully they can set up some big plays downfield. Tight end, I like Kyle Rudolph. He'll be super chalk this week. Everyone will be on him. But at 4,000, he's a great price. Gets a ton of targets. And if he can find the end zone, he'll be even bigger. He's got the matchup of the week versus Detroit, and that should have him pretty high owned. But again, I think he's worth the pick. Doyle at 3,600. He's got a low OPRK, so I think he'll be pretty low owned. And I think he's still a pretty good matchup with Luck as his quarterback versus Green Bay. He's got some good upside. So at defense, I like the Chiefs at home versus the Jags, and Miami at home versus Fitzpatrick and the Jets. So those are my plays for this week. If you like these videos, please click subscribe, and join me next week for Week 10 NFL DFS. Good luck, guys.